I know you guys are waiting for this, the Summoners War Reloaded theory crafting session, the PowerPoint presentation, the 255 slide. It's not the 255 slide PowerPoint presentation, but we do have a PowerPoint presentation because I want to go over the different theory crafting ideas that I think are very likely in Summoners War Reloaded. So let's get it started. First off, Summoners War Reloaded is a major update with a live stream. For those of you that are new to the major updates, they generally include new dungeons, items, and ways to make your units stronger, i.e. new things to farm that are almost mandatory. This is not a bounce patch or transmogs. This is a major update. I just want you guys to know that if it wasn't a major update, they wouldn't be doing a special live stream thing for it. So I think it's this button, right? Wow, I'm so professional. I'm getting ready for the business world. Here's a closer close-up of the thing, and I do think this is going to be possibly a dungeon boss. It may not be a dungeon boss. I just get the feeling that this is going to be a new dungeon boss. This is what the old live streams used to look like. In here we see, I don't know if you guys can really see too well, but this is world boss. This is the R5 beast. And then this is the gems and the grind. So this is one of their big updates. I don't know that they're going to do something quite like this exactly, where they have like the room and the PowerPoint, their own PowerPoint presentation. But this is what they used to do. They may do it differently this time, but just keep that in mind. So there was, I think we briefly went over these possibly in a previous video. There was a conference with, this is like a year old at this point, I think. Maybe, wasn't it from like last SWC? Possibly, I don't know, but there were some questions and answers from the devs and the influencers that actually went. Will there be any new PvP content? Again, this is like at least 6 months to a year old. Any new PvP content? What is the plan? There's already a lot of PvP content between Siege and RTA. It's already. This is not specifically about Reloaded. I just want to say that again because people gonna think this is specifically about Reloaded. I'm just going over things that they said previously. They're looking for other content to promote. They talked about 2v2 in Arena, maybe 2v2 aspect to future SWC and creating smaller tournaments, etc. Artifacts. So this is kind of a big takeaway from this. We shouldn't read this whole thing, but I do want to talk about the artifacts. A lot of monsters became really strong or even unmanageable. They know they're going to change the whole system. Big overhaul coming, not right away. So this is like 6 months to a year ago. Oh, you guys got it the fourth time I said it. Big overhaul coming. Talk about a patch in November that should start the artifact related changes. So this seems like this has something to do with artifacts based on this that they've said previously. Special League, balance patch, LD legendary scroll, talking about all this stuff. Graphic redesign, big redesign planned in the next months. No precision if it's a redesign to make the old monsters more beautiful or if it's global graphical redesign, but it's anyway a very big work. Can we just focus on this thing right here? So the big redesign and the artifacts. I think this tells us a lot right here. So if we actually listen to the data, then we can get some potentially quality information. What is the priority in the updates? The fun and not frustrating the players. Lulz. That's hilarious. So we can tell that they're already lying their brains out in this. Server migration, leader skill problem, new rune sets. They're just talking about these things like no, not really. Oh, there's some naughty language. We could just skip over that. So I wanted to bring up now a couple posts on Reddit that people made because this started some theory crafting ideas and started some debate over here. This is from Heaven's Royalty. We talked about this before he posted it on Reddit. He was talking about the Japanese, in Japanese mythology, the character Tsukiyomi. He thinks this is. I mean, it very well could be. I'm not saying he thinks this is like it's not. I don't know who this character is or who I think it is personally. So it's very likely that could be that. And then he's talking about he's talking about mythological stuff. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to read this. Talking about Susanoo, the storm god in Japanese mythology, which is also the third sibling of Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu. So he thinks there's going to be 3 different parts in this, maybe 3 dungeons or something like that. So that's some food for thought. He just wanted to comment on the character that he thinks it is. And then this is another one. This is from Panko NC. And he goes over a lot of the different things we're actually going to be talking about today. Artifact rebalancing, which they did mention in the meetup, 6 months or a year ago. Roguelike dungeons, 2v2 arena ladder, pity summons, increase in LD rates. We're going to talk about this in a second, though. Siege improvements, new engine, guild battle, final thoughts. So yeah, let's get back there. But I just wanted to mention that these were also things that people were discussing on Reddit as well. So back to where we stopped. Here are some of the things that Here are some of the things that we may see in this major update. Number 1, Artifact B12 Dungeons. I know we talked about this briefly before. It makes sense. CompToUs wants to do more with artifacts. They've already possibly teased in the text bug in Summoner's Way after an update. Maybe it was just a typo, maybe not. I think this is pretty likely. I think a lot of us would agree that B12 Dungeons for artifacts is pretty likely. Third Artifact Dungeon. This is me personally. I was doing another summon video. Of course, another summon video. I had this epiphany on summon video that might not be out yet. It's not out yet. That the character in the banner is for a third Artifact Dungeon. We had a Giants and Dragons since the beginning of the game, but Necropolis came out many months later as a third rune farming dungeon. This could be the same trend in artifact dungeons. So, for whatever reason, like as soon as I thought that, I was like, I really feel like this might be it. Among multiple things. I don't think it's just a new artifact dungeon. I think there's going to be multiple things in this. We know they're looking to expand and improve the artifact system looking forward, so this is definitely a possibility. I think this is pretty likely. Next up, we have a major graphics overhaul. Again, we did mention that they mentioned that they wanted to do a graphics overhaul. So the graphics on some of the characters and dungeons are 9 years old. Phones and tablets graphics have improved substantially since the game originally came out. It's getting increasingly harder to attract new customers when newer games have much higher graphical fidelity. Might be time to take a couple million and redesign, since it's still the #1 cash cow for CompToUs. They could take like 1 month worth of profits and then just reinvest into making the game look beautiful, and not even 1 month worth of profits. It's getting increasingly harder to attract new customers when newer games have much higher... Oh, I already mentioned this. They already touched on this a little bit a few years ago, which we already talked about. They did... Oh, no, we didn't. This is something different. Where they redid some of the older areas of the game in an update that we weren't really expecting. Garen Forest and some silver monsters were changed so that they look a little bit better than they did back when the game first came out in 2014. So hear me out. If you are a large company looking for a name for your new graphics overhaul on your game, what would you call it? You're going to redesign the game, redesign the older content, redo the art for it. You might want to call it something like something, maybe Reloaded, right? So I think this is pretty likely. Next up, we have the Roguelike Dungeon. We're going to mention some of the things, again, that were in the Reddit post as well. So this, I think a lot of people are on the same page. It was already implemented in the game. It would be easy to just put it back and make it a permanent thing, and then hey, we have new content in Summoner's War that's permanent, and just change the boss. I mean, maybe that Tsukiyomi, is that what is am I remembering that correctly? Maybe that Tsukiyomi character is the boss for the Roguelike dungeon. So I think this is very likely, since they have the you like this next slide. Why is it doing that? You like this next slide. NFT crypto integration. But yeah, I think considering they already have the code for it and it's already in the other CompToUs games, it's pretty likely, potentially. What is with these slides? They keep... I don't know. Whatever. I'm not very good at PowerPoint presentations anyway. I should be at this point, right? NFT crypto integration. CompToUs are very motivated to jump on the NFT crypto bandwagon with the CompToVerse, and then we never heard more. Well, we heard a little tiny bit more from it, but they're still working on that. I don't know how much. I don't know if they stopped working on it so much or what the deal is. They have minor integration in their other titles, but we're still waiting on everything they've planned for the CompToVerse. I do not think those will be implemented in Reloaded, but it is technically possible depending on how much risk they want to take. If it is implemented, it's possibly going to be just a small implementation and see how the community feels about it before they want to push it any crazy further. I don't think that they want to take too many risks with this, though. So I think that I don't think they're gonna... I think this is more for the newer titles and not for the ones that we already have. They're big cash cow. I don't think they want to piss anyone off too much. Just minor, as long as they stay playing the game, right? So pity an LD rate increase. I don't think this is very likely, to be honest. CompToUs has always had a stranglehold on rates and wanting to not pity and implementing different ideas like blessings. And I think it's more likely that we see new scrolls or some kind that are implemented into new packs. It is what it is. I just think that they've been 9 years without pity. I don't think they're going to start now. But, I said the same thing about the auto farming, and they did auto farming, and it didn't break the game. People really appreciate it. I think that more people would have left if there wasn't auto farming, because it would have been way too much. New 2A dimension. I know a lot of people were commenting that they really want to see this. They think it's new 2A. They're like, oh, I think that's a new 2A boss. I'm like, I don't think that's a new 2A boss. I think that they wouldn't have called it like have titled it Reloaded. It would just be in an update and there's a new 2A, and they would have teased it on social media. I mean, they teased this on social media as well, but I don't think there'll be a new dimension in this update. If we do get a new 2A unit, I mean, they could be. I'm not saying I'm correct in this. I don't feel like it, but it's entirely possible. If we do get a new 2A unit in this, it'll be a minor part, not the core of the update. I think the core of the update is going to be something much bigger than just the new 2A. Possible other additions, new world boss, I have no idea, but we're half a decade overdue on this. I'm not holding my breath anymore on this new world boss thing. RTA changes, probably not, or will be a very small part of the update. I think it's more likely that if PvP is included, it will be a broader, larger overall change to all of the aspects of PvP together, not just RTA specifically, or if there are RTA changes, it's going to be a minor part of the update, not like the bulk of this reloaded update. So, siege changes, I don't think so, since most of the smaller filler updates were minor siege changes. Like, we kept having siege update, siege update, siege update. I think that's where they were doing the siege stuff, and I think this is going to be something totally different from siege. We may see a little bit of siege in here, but it's just going to be a minor part. 2v2 RTA ladder, maybe, but the struggle really is that most players don't want to play 2v2. This already has not been catching on like they wanted. We predicted this would come out to Summoners War years ago when it was announced in Chronicles and Beta, and this was a couple of years ago that we figured they were going to probably put this into Summoners War. But it's a very little community interest in it aside from Twitch streamers. Twitch streamers, for whatever reason, they think everyone wants to play 2v2. I'm like, guys, most people don't want to play 2v2. Like, no, all of my Twitch viewers want to play like that, because that's the one place that works really well together, is 2v2 and Twitch. Aside from that, people are not really interested in playing 2v2 unless it's like on Twitch or on Discord where they can communicate with each other in real time. And there's Twitch engagement, right? That's really good content for Twitch, but it's probably the best content for Twitch because you can play with the people watching you and against the people that are watching you. Yeah. If they do put this in permanently, it'll be a minor part of Reloaded. It's not going to be the bulk of the update. So I feel that this is not going to be a new game. It's not. I know there's a pre-registration. We did pre-registrations in Summoners War before. It's not like a new thing to Summoners War. But I think that they might want people to feel like this is Summoners War 2 now, not just the original Summoners War. It's like, no, it's a new thing. It's Summoners War 2. It's different, right? Not intentionally calling it Summoners War 2. But this might be the strategy to get people into the mindset that this isn't just another 9-year-old Summoners War. This is more like Summoners War 2 in terms of graphics and get people motivated to continue playing and spending without fearing that the game is going to die soon because it was just reborn, right? Also, I think Rebirth might have been a good name, but that would give it away completely. Also, don't get too hung up. Oh, yeah, don't get too hung up on the pre-registrations. Is that the last slide? That is the last slide. I don't know why I'm winded, guys. I'm so old. All right, let me know what you think in the comments below, but I just wanted to put all this together because I read a lot of your comments and I was like, what are they talking about? Like, they really think that this is going to be like, oh, it's a new 2A, that's it, that's all the update. I'm like, they wouldn't do this for a new 2A. They wouldn't do this for new transmogs or a balance patch. This is going to be some kind of new dungeon at the very least. We'll see. I think it's going to be it's obviously going to be multiple things, otherwise they just call it like new dungeon, right? But I think there's going to be multiple new things all bundled into one. I think there will be a new dungeon of some sorts. What it will be, you know, that's still up in the air. And I really feel that this might be a graphical upgrade kind of situation. So that's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you as always in the next one.